so much goodness. I'm making bone broth. The last couple of batches I made, I just boiled them, but then I heard if you roasted them first and then boiled them, it improves the flavour. And then what I do, I just pour it into a baking tray, freeze it, and then chop it up, and it comes up in these little squares. So that's fat on top. Shot, mate. Nice.
You see them walking across and they're just like da 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 da, and you've got it, you know, boom. Yeah, I always dreamed about it. Never happened till now.
So Dan gives me his bout to carry the deer out with. I'm going to show him the bout carry, but his bout's so small because Dan's such a little fella. Look, his bout.
That's right. My ass is as big as his head.
As big as my head.
Which means that his head is as big as my ass.
Everyone tells me I've got a big head.
What
So
do you think of that,
Dan
Sean?
ain't gonna.
Has he got a big ass? Has he got a big head? If I got a big ass, has he got a big head? I'm not sure.
So anyway, that's not going to bloody work. So I've always wanted to try this. I haven't tried it yet. We're just going to cut a flap skin off the deer and use that as a belt to through it. So anyway, I'll show you.
Have you done this before?
No, I haven't. This is I've thought about it many a time, but I've never done it. So.
And can you just tell the audience about how you cut the legs off before you measured the belt around your arse head?
Oh yeah, so we can't peek our packet now because I cut its front legs off. So this doesn't work. We're just going to drag it out.
So now we're going to do the skin trick that we've never tried before, but check it out. We're going to give it a go. But it's quite funny that we've just worked out that Josh's head's the size of my ass. It's really good, actually. That's really cool. I do like that. It's humorous, I think. That's really good. I never knew that my ass looked as good as his head. Or his head looked as good as my ass. I'm not quite sure.
The arse about face-erectomy.
Arse about face. Yes. Arse over tit on it or something. Here we go. Now look at that. Here we go. This is how we roll. And that's so we're tying up the two back legs.
Through there. Through there.
And then through the front legs. So this is what you'd normally put a belt through, is it?
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Now if you sit down here, it's 100 kg on that ankle.
I don't know how the deer is, but you're heavier.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Right. There's a fraction too much.
Right, hold it, so I can tie it up. Ready? Under there.
Hey, it's got boobies.
Yes. Cheers, bro.
Ready, good on you.
The last couple of batches I made, I just boiled them, but then I heard if you roasted them first and then boiled them, it improves the flavour. And then what I do, I just pour it into a baking tray, freeze it, and then chop it up, and it comes up in these little squares. So that's fat on top, and that's kind of like a jelly underneath. And I use them as a stock for stir fries, soups, and gravies, and it's really healthy and very, very tasty. Bone broth, full of nutrients. I'll run you through how to make it.
Get out of there! Get out! Get out! Bad dog! Get out!
Boy, get out of it! But she can't see you get out. Get out of the garden, you mongrel. So there's the bone broth. It's been boiling all day, and I've drained it into the other pot 3 times now, and then refilled the pot with the bones in it, and then drained it again, refilled it, drained it again, and now I'm just boiling off the other pot to reduce it, boiling off all the water. So reducing it right down until it turns into essentially a jelly with fat and bone marrow on top. And then going to freeze it in baking trays, and then when it's frozen, cut it up into cubes and chuck it in a plastic bag and freeze it. Yeah, all the goodness has come off the bone, off the vertebrae, all of the cartilage and the bone marrow, everything. So much goodness. Did you have some of that meat, eh?
Yeah.
Pretty good?
Yeah.
Soft, isn't it? Look at the vertebrae all falling to bits there. Real soft.